So guys, just want to show you something, because this X5 was full of stones. Just ignore that the seat is falling apart badly up here for a moment. I'm going to try to show some stones. There's still one there. Still here. You couldn't just wash the car because it would scratch the paint. Look, they're still stuck there, and I washed it quite for a long time. So the pressure washer also didn't take them off, unfortunately, so I had to use a brush to mechanically loosen them, and then a mosquito sponge to still break down the rest. And then I could somewhat wash it, and now I'm just claying it to get, see that? That's the difference of clay, just cleaning the paint. And once you do that, you see all kinds of paint imperfections. You still have all these things sitting in there. This one there. And it's been everywhere. You see all these things here? It's so bad. So let's see what the clay takes off. And the rest have to be polished. Some scratches in here. But first you gotta clean before you can start any paint correction. And the roof was especially bad. So I'm glad it's somewhat turning off. There's still one and white in the middle. And some here on the edge. So let's try to get it cleaner. Never seen something like that. Why are all these stones in there? Now I'm just slowly restoring it. Just cleaning, deep cleaning. And I'll probably have to polish it. And I want to try some paint repair methods anyway, especially for this scratch here. I think this one's gonna come out. Not sure about these here. Also noticed that is broken. So not sure. At the moment, the folding mirrors don't work, but it could be because the panel is off and everything. So these are the stones I've been finding all over the car, especially on the roof. This one was under the hood. And since I'm here, I also don't think this is original. So this car has seen some work. This one, I believe this goes from here, goes around here, and then tucks in here. This is just, come on, this is not supposed to be this way. So I gotta find a new one for this. Whatever pipe this was. Missing a couple tabs here for the intake. And it has a lot of broken seals, door seals on the side here. There's a little rubber lip at the bottom that clips in. This lip down here has a lot of broken tabs on both doors, on all doors. Gotta order some of those. They just got brittle. But in general, for a 20-year-old car, it's not that bad. Also here, nice paint. On the other side, you quite often see something like this. So I'm also not too sure about that. Also noticed that the A pillar here, the B pillar cover, that's not in properly, and it doesn't just happen from sitting around for too long. So that seems to not be in place properly. And let's see what else I find once I finish cleaning. Start fixing. Those are still some massive doors. Good old heavy steel doors. Here there is a screw. Screw missing. It's holding the bumper. So a lot of small things. And it just seemed really random. Like the car supposedly hasn't seen that much work. So why are a little thing here, a little thing there? It's not stripped down. It's kind of weird. Here you can see what I mean. See all these stones. It's like an entire collection in here. I have no idea where they come from. They're all over. You also see the little seal here. It's literally falling apart. What is this? Who knows? I found a bunch of fuses in there, especially in the trunk. I just want to show you one thing, because when I already bought the car, the spare wheel wouldn't fit in. And usually, for the X5 you have this little handle here, and you pull this out, and the spare wheel sits on it. You know, this entire thing comes out. This entire thing comes out here. But that's been misrouted here. So someone was already pushing, how German call it, meaning like they crapped it. And I also cleaned this entire trunk area. So much dog hair and shit. It's whoever changed the battery down there, it's the battery. That has been changed because everything is original on this car, but it starts one up every time. Gotta have a new battery in there for sure. And that's when they mess things up, because this one here, most of you will know, this is supposed to hold the battery in place. What is it doing up here? And with this rerouted here, this spare wheel won't fit in. So just want to let you know, you can tell a lot about the work that's been done if you just notice things like this. Like, why is this going under a cable? So you put on it, you take the entire cable out. That's not how it's supposed to be. Also, those are actually the lines for the compressor, you know. So I'm gonna take this hump out to fix the situation so I can put the wheel back in. This is a quick flipper car. So since the hole is out, you would expect this, right? It's loose, and also this is loose. Like, where is the bolt that holds it tight? It's just like this, just a matter of time until I'm stranded. Look, almost where it's supposed to be. Track supposed to be back there. There's a rubber band that holds it, but that has been ripped. So guys, you can tell, if you have an idea what you do, you can tell fairly quickly if someone worked on the car already before, and if that someone actually knew what they do or not. And then here I spotted so many indicators that whoever worked on this car had no clue how to do things. They just googled things and went along, but they never worked on that car before. It just shows. So this thing's already up in the air, but I still want to just briefly go over the things that I noticed that are wrong with the car. Just like a little tradition you do when you get a new car. Headlights, I think I mentioned before, I'm gonna fix those today. That's why I already took off the lower lip here on the pre-facelift. Also E46, same situation there, same time. I already taped off the fender here, hood they can open. And I'm gonna try a kit. This kit here, Sylvania, and I'm gonna see how that goes. I think I also showed you this thing here that shouldn't be. I'm not exactly sure what happened here, but this is not original. This should go through here and then tightly around here back in. Ordered this part. For oil change, this is a 36mm, in case you were wondering. Also found a little cable in there, which is weird. I did show you the scratches in the door, but now since the car is clean, I washed it, I clayed it. You can even see my reflection. Scratch here, where I tried to fix the door panel, the door handle. I'm also gonna paint this one. This is a new door handle already, or a used one, paint matched. I got some spray paint. I want to try to paint this one to match this again. You also see it's coming off. I'm gonna show you something else on the other side. This massive scratch here. And these here, these should come out. And this one, it's deep, but it seems to be only in the clear coat. I want to try to get this out also. Also got a kit, and I'm gonna work with that. Or you will see down here, these are the rubber seals at the bottom. The clips, they break, they're on the way. Not much to see on the rear other than this nut is loose in here, and your wiper is, it's called it flexible. I ordered the new rubber for the back and new wiper blades for the front. Somehow I can't find the original rubbers. There seems to be a damage here that has been done somewhat shabily. This is not done at all. These are scratches here, they should come out, but they may have put some crap on there, it seems like it. I have to like sand this all down and see if I can paint it again. And here in the body, you even see some corrosion down here. That's not ideal. This is a little bit deeper, but at least trying to preserve it a little bit longer. Again, sand it down, put some paint on here, then some clear coat, and then we see how long that lasts. Of course, you have some minor scratches. I mean, it's a 20-year-old car. You would expect some scratches, even though it's been standing. Typical door. Let me show you one thing that confuses me quite a bit. There's a little dent in here, you can see. Because of course, people can't watch their doors, they open them. Again, down here the clips, they just break, they're on the way. And then this holds also again nicely. But in here, you see some paint to be chipping off, which is really odd. I'm not sure if they oversprayed it with something. There's also a random hole in here. I do believe there's supposed to be a plug in here. I saw it somewhere else, but always weird. Not sure if I mentioned the door panel situation on the driver's side. For the rear, we are missing. So I bought a car like this. They tried to fix the windows. The window regulator in the rear wouldn't work. They tried to repair it, which failed spectacularly. So I just ordered a new one. However, there is a little plastic clip that connects the window regulator to the window, to the glass. And they also broke that clip. I'm waiting on that clip now, then I can put that back together. And in the front, the window was just stuck. I haven't gotten to look into it deeper, but the regulator seems to be working. I mean, it's all loose. Ideally, I just tighten it up and it works again. It would make me happy. And the front, the AC unit has no power. Ideally, that's just a fuse. I found a couple of fuses here and there in the entire car. The screen has some pixels problems, which doesn't bother me because I'm gonna change it anyway. And of course, no problem over there. There are also some pixels missing there. I'm gonna attempt to repair that one. Never did that, but if I can do it, you can do it too. And on the topic of head unit, it seems like my car doesn't have a DSP, which is the amplifier, and it also does not have the TV. I do want to retrofit a backup camera, which means I have to retrofit a TV module first. Let's take a look. Then there's some kind of weird glue here that doesn't come off. It's some drip. I'm not sure if they tried to glue something behind here and then the glue just went down. Almost seems like it. Understand. The rest I could clean up quite nicely. And it smells like an old BMW again in there. This is missing. Maybe they changed door handle already before. Who knows? Of course, when you do this the first time, you're bound to break the steam barrier, which is fantastic. In Boodmod band, this is really a sticky situation. Nobody likes it, but we gotta work with it. Let's take a look here. First, check out the head unit. Oh, you see it's missing quite some of the crystals in there. It is what it is. I'm gonna change it. And let's take a look here. Pixels. Wait, what? They're all there. Okay, so this is a self-fix. Also, why is the service here? That was all the way full when I got it first. And pixels being all here? Wow, all pixels are here. That makes me happy. It was kind of a test procedure. Let's see how that works. Just try it too. Oh yeah. Seems I'm missing one row of pixels here in the temperature, but that couldn't bother me any less. But last time I checked, it's been missing a ton of pixels down here. So it may be temperature related, but it's a clear indication that the band is coming loose slowly. Or you have to unlock it. I think to unlock it, you have to take the last 5 numbers of your VIN and add them all up. And then that gets you a number you put in here, and then you can see some more hidden menus. Well, this is wrong, not really technically wrong, but this brake fluid has not been changed in at least 12 years. Very old, very bad. Same with the engine oil. And here you see again that paint thingens I showed you earlier. I really wonder what that is. So at this point I'm missing parts of pretty much everything. To fix the rear window regulator, I'm missing one plastic clip that cost $1, whatnot. The front I gotta look into, haven't gotten into it. For the rear I also ordered, here it is, a new negative cable, because the people I bought it from changed the battery and they apparently lost this little nut stud thing that pinches the pole together. So I'm gonna install this one. You cannot get it individually. I can't even change the 12-year-old oil because oil filter wasn't here. Look, all the fluids arrived. I got the oil, I got plugs, I got brake fluid, I got enough diff oil for all differentials, and the transmission oil is right there. So only thing missing, filter for the engine oil, which bothers me. Of course, gonna change the defective radiator. That should work. I can change this thing later. Not a hold up. Change the cabin air filter that's hiding up there. Engine air filter, of course, is here. Also missing here 2 pins from the intake. Also still waiting on those. I just start to notice, I haven't noticed any leaks, which is fantastic. But I may be a little bit concerned because it is old and all the rubber did age, right? So even if it's still holding tight now, it may be brittle. So I'm gonna check underneath and see what's waiting for me down there. Especially the subframe in the rear, and of course also all suspension parts in the front. So I was just casually checking the fuse box in the rear to see equipment it has, and of course where's the fuse, are they all here, because there have been about 3 fuses laying out in the car. And then I randomly found this. I have no idea what this is. It's just a cable with some whatever on here. Goes down here. This seems to be some kind of retrofit, whatever. Not even taped back. I hope it's not having power on here. It seems to be some glue on there. Interesting, very, very interesting. This is your gong, by the way. If you want to park reverse, that goes beep, 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 beep. And I'm still looking for the fuse for the AC. So I'm in the glove box looking for more fuses. Fuse box is up there. What I see is that it's missing the little grab tool to pull them in and out. And I also noticed there's a random fuse laying up there. Interesting, once again. And this is fuse number 48. That should be the problem for the AC control not working. Let's drop in the new one. There's 7.5. Is that one? Of course not. Oh dear. That was there. This is the cup holder. That's the ashtray from the rear passenger door. It's all in pieces. Just puzzle it back together. There was a crack in here. I tried to glue that. Let's see. You know what? Let's do the shot right away. Let's see how it goes. The passenger door, open, ashtray goes in there. I just have these little notches on both sides. Just slide it in, and then this metal clip just holds it in place. That's it. Open. There's some red glue in there. That's what that is. So apparently that didn't work out well. It is this back plate here just comes out again. So there's nothing to lose. Might just glue that shit in place. So it's somehow not holding. Here the back plate comes out. If that stays, it's fine. I'm gonna glue that, it's it overnight, and then if it doesn't work, I gotta get a new one. It's like what, mid-20s maybe. Also I removed the cigarette butt thingens because nobody's gonna smoke in this car. I'll try again later. So I just added some JB Weld in here, the lid where this metal lip slides into the plastic body, and I hope that's just gonna close it and hold it, and then I'm gonna see later on. Also just trying to get some fuses, and let's see if the AC unit comes alive again. Got AC. Simple fix, just like that. Just a fuse, just as I assumed it is. So it makes me happy. Simple fix, something more is working. Fantastic. I'll just take notes of all kinds of projects I still got to do. This is one. Before this is gonna be TV module, backup camera, then head unit. And see, now you can see. I hope you can see. You actually can't see, but it's missing some pixels again now. The E and the A of seat, the L of belts, the 6 is missing some, and the temperature. So I would have to do that anyway. But good thing is the AC is working. Simple, easy fix. Sometimes life is as easy as a fuse. So ties off, let's take a look. Keep in mind, I got new ties mounted and they wouldn't even bother to clear off the corrosion on here. I've seen it more than once that you put a wheel back on a hub like this, and then your nuts, your bolts won't be tight. And then the wheel will wobble loose as the corrosion kind of makes its way out. Not cool. We call it pusher. Next thing we see is up here. Velcro is supposed to be sitting in there and not underneath. It's not good. To see what the condition is like. Rest over here seems fine, other than some spider web, some moths. There's no leaks in here anywhere. So far so good. Oh, okay. The problem down here, that has been torn off. This gotta be fixed before I have to replace the entire drive shaft. If you fix it, it's fine. If you wait too long, your drive shaft will run dry. Then you have to get a new drive shaft. We're having a gibbo here. This is comes from the transfer case on the right, and it goes to the front diff. That gibbo has a ton of cracks, and that's the outside. So curious to see from the underneath. I'll just snap the brake line back into place. Not a big deal. You want to check on top here to bend it back a little bit. There's some minor cracks, but that's nothing unusual for the age. We also have some moisture up here on the shock. It's not ideal. We're also missing the dust cap for the bleeder valve. So let's check the right side, and first thing you see, at least this is in place. That should be. But then what happened here? Who kind of forced this off? This is your wheel speed sensor. It doesn't show any problems so far, but yeah. And then here, same thing. Would not be a bad idea to change it. And also we have this also. So both sides, the wheel side needs to be replaced, and this has been a while. You see the build up here? That's not ideal. Sway bar end link, not because it's worn out, come on, but because the rubber is just deteriorated. Same on the top, fantastic. This seems dry at least. At least it's not coming out as on the other side. With a dust cap here, which is nice. Yes, of course, driver side, same thing, completely deteriorated. So we got front axle, both of the rubbers, both of the sway bar end links. So the rear actually seems to be a little bit more solid. Other than brakes are due, those are still original ones all around. Here you also see what happened to the front left dust cap. The rubber just ages and then it just falls off probably. Other than that, nothing that's problematic here. The end links seem fine. Nothing out of the ordinary. We have some minor cracks in the air spring. I have to see if I let it sit for a little while, how does it behave, does it sink in a lot or not. I haven't gotten to drive it a lot yet, so I want to change the oil and all the fluids first. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just checked underneath, there's not really anything to see. The rear axle is super solid. The only thing that could be something I might do other than the brakes would be the subframe bushings, and since they're all the same, you need one tool, you do it once, you're done, or I'm done. You can see some cracks inside, but that's the only thing. Everything else on the rear axle is solid, even the differential bushings, which we know from the F10s are notorious to be problematic. Both my F10s right now have it. This 20-year-old, actually older, no, this 20-year-old X5 doesn't have it. Rear axle is solid. Front axle, the only thing I noticed was the transmission pan seemed a little bit moist. So, but that's not a problem because I changed the transmission oil and with that also the sealing anyway. It's a paper sealing, it's like old, but whatever. And then that is also solved, and that is it. I've seen nothing else other than that, other than the things that are already mentioned. The sway bar end links in the front, they just deteriorated. The dust caps for the drive shafts on both front wheels on the wheel side, the tension struts, and that's it. Also gonna replace some of the missing dust caps. Those are the dust caps for your brake bleeder valve. I'm missing one, and another one is about to fall off anyway, and maybe the struts. So but from a technical point of view, it's pretty solid. It runs right now, I just don't want to run it for long. Just changed the engine air filter, I changed the cabin air filter, AC is running again. You know what? I will try to peek in here. So actually, if not, see, this is not supposed to be this way, and it's in the way right now. You want to just open your power steering reservoir. Let's see, do we have oil in here? It's moist, it's oil. It's fantastic. So you never have to change that. It's the ATF. You would only refill it if you have a leak. Your power steering lines, they may become leaky sometimes. It's not uncommon. There's one at the bottom. It's like a little loop, expansion loop. They quite often leak. Dirty, of course. I will clean it whenever I take something apart. Next thing will probably be the cover. I'm gonna change also the spark plugs. But it runs really smooth. So I'm not doing it just because there's a problem. The engine is super solid. Cooler is going to be changed. Oil as soon as I get the new parts. Brake fluid is changed. Steering fluid is fine. There's even quite a lot. Actually wiper fluid in there. I'm gonna refill some of the blinker fluid, of course. If anyone knows a good dent doctor who can pull these out. I know people in Germany, but unfortunately not over here, because there's no paint damage here. You can just pull it out. I would like to do that. And then this car is in pretty decent shape, other than some small things here and there. And of course the roundel has to go on again. If you listen closely, you can hear some humming from the AC unit. Maybe that's the reason why the fuse blew. And then this is another problem I need to fix still. It just doesn't adjust. Both mirrors don't adjust, they don't fold. Pretty dead. And they also don't work when I use the... Just do this. No, they don't work if I use the memory either. That just... Hopefully it's just a fuse or something. I don't want to replace both mirrors. It would be quite annoying. Also gonna try to check the cables behind, because I didn't put the switches on. They have been dangling on there, so maybe they're not in place all the way. That would be the easiest way to fix this. So I'm not entirely sure what happened here in the front door. All I know is that when I got the car, the window was stuck down, and all that it was just wedged in here in the corner and wouldn't go beyond the guide there. So once you give it a little push forward, it would go up perfectly fine. Anyway, I just put all the screws back on, all the nuts, one here, one down in the front there, tighten them. Funny enough, just out of curiosity, this is loose. Like, I really have to tighten every bolt and nut that I see just to make sure. There's been way too many that's been loose already, so yeah, I was safe than sorry, I guess. So there we have it. After twice up and down, it would stuck again. If I just take my hand in here and edge it, I can move the entire window. That shouldn't be. So I guess there's something with the guide down here. It's a fairly obvious problem, because since this entire unit here moves, right? How do I show you that? First thought was the screw, but the screw is tight. However, what I noticed either after that is that this cable does need to be in place. See, this cable should be in here, but it's not. So maybe that can be repaired, but it actually looks like there's a piece broken away here. So worst comes to worst, I have to replace this window regulator, or maybe just a repair piece or something. There should be a sound dampening, a sound isolation under here. It's not, because it's in here. Because some rodent was living in here, some nuts, some stuff, with some random cables laying around here. I just pulled out another cable. I'm not sure what this is unplugged here. It's not ideal. I guess this doesn't fit properly back there. So things happened here, and I just hope that this, I'll show you. This for sure is not supposed to look like this. This is a wiring harness between the banks, and it appears that this has been chewed through and been repaired. First question I wonder is, if you already repaired a wiring harness, why don't you clean up the mess? And this is just a vacuum line going to nowhere. There's another wire harness here eaten up, so it's gonna be a little bit more work than I anticipated, but it's got to be cleaned out and sorted. This is important, most likely. Oh, I guess it goes back here. Yep. So I need a new vacuum line for that. So I just received the proper part to fix this construct here. So apparently there was nothing wrong with the connectors here, but maybe either they bent or break, or maybe, I don't know what happened with the original pipe. The original pipe looks something like this. Connect there, clips in place here, connects down there. Nicely clean, out of the way. Very German, unlike whatever this is that's already corroding. That comes out. It's a matter of just removing clip here, clip there, cleaning it a little bit, and tucking the new one in. Just make sure there's an O-ring somewhere. There's one. So this looks instantly better, doesn't it? It looks OEM, looks like the way it should be, and not some weird mess. The little cleaning as far as it could go. Let's not go crazy on it. Also fixed or replaced some missing parts, like it's missing 2 of these plugs here. It's missing a screw here for some reason. It's missing 2 screws that hold the compressor in the trunk under the spare wheel. It had a couple of broken clips on the lower rubber seal on the door all around. Just replaced all those small things. It adds up. Also fixed the ashtray in the rear. You can really tell if someone doesn't really know how to operate things, because so many things break. I mean, it's an old car, the plastic ages, don't get me wrong, things will break anyway, but you can just tell by the way they did break and how many of them did break that they didn't really know how to do it. And then of course something will give in. Even if you know what to do, here and there something may still give in, especially old brittle plastic, but not nearly as much and as weirdly as those. You also wouldn't be missing things, you wouldn't be missing screws that hold the bumper on the car and other things. You also would add the holder to the battery again, so it's not just sitting in there loose, flopping around. So a lot of things. Overall, this car is starting to get sorted again. My plans for this car have been somewhat changing, but still not all the way yet. I actually wanted more as a beater like this, to just make it a little bit more like an overlander off-roady. Not because I need it or I go off-roading, just for the look of it. I live in LA, I'm fairly regularly out rodeo drive, and it's just kind of fun to take out something different than what everybody else drives. And that would be one of those cases. People take it off-road, these are super solid. There's the same platform as the old Range Rover, because BMW owned it at the time. It has a permanent all-wheel drive system, 38, 62, that's some weird split. But these are capable. Not utterly capable, but capable enough. But after that, the E70 and other generations, they became more of a road vehicle and not so much an off-road vehicle. And the entire idea of buying one of those started from the Fluid Motion, I think they called it Project X. Same thing, I think it was a facelift. They just lifted it, they took off the bumper, made a tubular bumper on there, and then they put some 33-inch tires on there. I think they had 3 or 5 65 17s on there, which looks pretty sweet. Not into off-roading, but that's something I would do just for the look of it. Look pretty cool. Whatever comes is being done. Whatever I find that is not up to standard will be addressed. And I'm actually gonna keep this one. Probably not gonna keeping the 550, even though it's not even finished yet. Gonna finish it, gonna drive it and enjoy it a little bit. But ultimately, if I trade it in for something else or just set it straight up, I know just spend a lot of money and time on the engine and overhauling this entire thing. But it is what it is. I don't really need 2 F10s. Anyway, that's the new to the channel, new to me, E53X5, 4.4 liter. It's like a little short of 300 horsepower or something like that. But that's not the point. I'm gonna probably add some cutouts to it. I'll just check the location where I have space to do that. And then these things sound pretty nice. And other than that, it's just like not like a baby bomber, but I'm considering changing the running boards to the aluminum boards. And I want the IS fender flares that stick out a little more. I'm considering adding a OEM tow bar. Just gotta find one first, they're pretty rare. Not going with a snorkel, because I don't want to cut into the metal. You can't reverse it, but I'm probably gonna lift it. It's like what, 1.2, 1.5 inches, what I've seen with the lift kits. And maybe I'm gonna put some knobbly tires on there. Just to see, just for fun. I'm not sure what to do with these chrome wheels, 19s. I don't hate them actually, they look somewhat decent on the black, which surprises me. But I'm just not a chrome kind of guy. So I'm gonna see you in one of the coming videos. I gotta make lots of parts laying around, just gotta get to it. And I'm gonna show you whatever I can, try to make it useful and helpful. If anyone considers buying one of those, or already has one, has problems, let's see what we can do about it.